Selecting an insurance provider for your business is a big decision.
With over 26 years of experience, our offered team is your solution for quality and proven coverage.
The customer service you remember from years ago is what we pride our team on.
We know how important your company is to the community.
From small businesses to large businesses, Alford & Associates can manage your insurance. It's our job.
Alford & Associates, benefiting your employees and protecting your business.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. We thank you for joining us today. We're always glad to get updates, especially as it relates to Lafourche Parish. Captain Brennan Mathern, Chief Information Officer there, Public Information Officer, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Keith. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Wouldn't do it any other way. You know, it's this time of year where we've got to be careful about scams and scammers, and they come up with some of the more unique ways to kind of threaten the public to do different things. Tell us a little bit about this case. It seems so very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, this is a popular time of year for scams, and we'll talk about that more in just a few minutes. But we have a really unique case. In most cases involving scams, they happen by phone and money is sent electronically. But every now and then we get a unique case, and this one actually resulted in an arrest. So on December 10th, we had an elderly Thibodeau man contacted the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office about a potential scam. He initially received an email saying that he had purchased a dishwasher at Walmart. Well, having never purchased a dishwasher, he called Walmart, and they told him, obviously, that this was probably a scam. A little later that same day, he received a call from someone pretending to be someone from the Federal Trade Commission. And they told him that he was being part of an investigation into a money laundering scam, and that to protect his money, he would need to withdraw $40,000 from his bank and get it to a courier, which would be an investigator that would help keep his money in escrow and keep it safe. Obviously, this was a scam, and law enforcement is never going to ask you to take your money out of a bank to, quote unquote, keep it safe. But luckily, the man did pull the money out, but he contacted law enforcement before he gave anything away. We coordinated with him and set up the meeting with the courier, and that courier was 47-year-old Diego Diaz of Georgia, and he was arrested immediately upon sight. We spoke to him about his involvement and learned that he had done this plenty of times and that he was coordinating with others. And we are continuing our investigation, but we are happy to report that Diaz was arrested. He is being held on no bond. He is also being held for U.S. citizenship and immigration services due to some, question about his citizenship. And he is from Georgia. At least he has a driver's license from Georgia. And he was arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit extortion, conspiracy to commit felony theft, and conspiracy to commit exploitation of the infirmed. So again, he's being held in Thibodeau at our correctional complex, but we've learned that he is associated with a large criminal organization that spans the southern United States, several states within our union. So this was a big arrest for our guys. Hopefully it can uncover a larger criminal organization. We are working with neighboring law enforcement agencies that have had similar cases, and we're going to be working with federal authorities to in an attempt to do what we can to bring these people to justice.
Boy, what a remarkable thing that is, the beginning of hopefully a lot of different options to bring down more people, so that, again, because the charge against him, the infirmed, is that they're targeting elderly people. They're targeting seniors and trying to really manipulate them, trying to get $40,000 out of somebody, which may be their entire life savings, for people that have worked hard to do that.
And Keith, we've seen in recent years that they're not even worried about targeting elderly anymore. They've made targets. I mean, we've had people as young as 20 years old be scammed out of money. So they're realizing that people are falling for this of all ages. So it's not just the elderly anymore. We want to make that clear. Now, to your point, they are targeting the elderly because of their giving nature, especially during this time of year. And Christmas, because of the generosity that people exhibit during this holiday season, that's going to make it a hotbed. But also into the coming year, in the next few months, because people are getting large sums of money in terms of their tax returns, you will see the number of scams rise as they try to victimize people and get some of that money that people are getting in their pocket. Because now it's not just people who may have savings; it's pretty much everyone is going to be getting some sort of tax return.
Right, exactly, and that information. Sheriff, whoever kind of wants to send out a reminder to people about these scams, tell us a little bit more about his recommendation.
Yeah. So, obviously, in this case, like any others, all classic signs of a scam are there. Anyone telling you that they're from some sort of federal law enforcement and not to tell anyone else about it, that's a huge red flag. That's a scam. Right. Anyone telling you they're from any kind of law enforcement agency and telling you to get money out of your bank where it's nice and safe, that's a scam. And look, they're going to have a convincing story to tell you that your money's not safe in the bank. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to convince you to get your money out of the bank and get it to them. And once you do that, it's completely gone. In most cases, it is nearly impossible to recover. That money is electronically wired, typically overseas, and it's long gone. So before you ever send money to anyone for any reason, especially large sums of money, you have to be sure it's legit. And the really only way you can do that, unless you know who you're dealing with or you're dealing with a legitimate company, is you have to contact law enforcement. If there's even an inkling of a chance that this might be real, just call us. We'll help you verify. And if it's not, we'll let you know that as well.
Right. And so great job in partnering with the community, as you always do, making sure that we're keeping the community safe. And it's at this time, the holidays, this is the last thing that we want, is that the holidays be ruined by someone who's been scammed or been, taken advantage of all ages. Much like you said, it's important to be able to do that. But Brendan, we appreciate what you do, how you do it, and the efficacy of being able to get this guy off the streets and hopefully taking down that entire group.
Thank you, Keith, and y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Thanks so much. All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment, but don't go anywhere. A lot more Bayou time when we continue.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.